and welcome to Gusto Trends on Gusto TV. My name is Ifeoluwa, and as usual, I want to say a big thank you for always liking, sharing your comments, watching, and of course, telling people what we do here. Thank you so much. We love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. Today on the trends, I'll be looking at 5 pointers that tell that Barry Jhay is innocent of the allegation that he murdered his record boss. Yeah, record label boss. Yeah. We know that on the 7th of March 2021, in this month here and this year, a news came up on social media announcing the death of Kashy, Barry Jhay's record label boss. This news actually gave birth to a lot of allegations and conversations on social media platforms, with people coming up with a lot of things. At first we saw, oh, it was court related, oh, it was Barry Jhay who invited some certain set of people to actually, probably go and deal with his record label boss, and it turned out to, be more than expected. Some people said, oh, he murdered, and some other people are like, oh no, it didn't happen like that. Well, Barry Jhay himself has come out to release a press release on his page from the Ghana police force, and also from his legal team, that has actually said he is innocent of the allegation people had actually been calling him out for. I'm going to start with 5 pointers that tells that he's innocent of this crime, and he had nothing to do with the death of his record label boss, Kashy. Starting with the first one, the hotel has also come out in the release here. In the press release, the hotel said that he himself and Kashy was not the only people who came into the hotel on that particular day. According to the hotel, Kashy came in with Barry Jhay and a lady whose name was not disclosed. They came into the hotel on 7th of March, but they've been in Ghana since on the 5th, when Kashy sent for Barry Jhay to join him in Ghana on the 5th of March 2021, and they moved to Beaufort Lodge in Ghana here on the 7th. Came in with another lady whose name was not disclosed. And also later that night, they were joined by a Ghana music producer who was working with Barry Jhay in one of the rooms, while Kashy and the lady was in another room. They said towards later of the night, the lady ran into the room where Barry Jhay and the music producer is, and said to them that he was behaving abnormally, which means there were 3 other people in the room as it, that particular day. Barry Jhay was present, Ghanaian music producers whose name was also not disclosed, a lady, and the deceased himself. So which makes 4 people actually present, because a lot of times when you see this thing online, the only name people mention is actually Barry. There are other 3 people who were also at the lodge with them on that particular day. Also, a witness has come out to also give his own, what he saw. Yeah, although somewhat, I think on Tuesday we saw a video making the rounds on Twitter, where somebody who said he was also a witness that Barry Jhay was not present in the hotel as at that time. So this person is actually a witness. He did an Instagram live video which we saw making the rounds online, and he gave his own account of what occurred that night. And in the account he gave, he never mentioned if Barry Jhay was present as at the time. According to him, he used the word the fat guy had left earlier on, before other things took place, such as the security men coming around to caution him, to when he fell off the 4th floor of the building. Also, the police in their reports in that same release made it known that as at the time when they were called up that such an incident has occurred at the lodge, when they got there, there was no traces of Barry Jhay around at all, which means as at the point the police officers got to the lodge to carry out their investigation, to check the deceased, where they captured the pictures which we're all seeing online. As at that point in time, Barry Jhay was not present in that vicinity, which means as at the time police were carrying out their research, who fell, what floor, going in and out of the hotel, Barry Jhay was not around. So there is a possibility as at that time he is not even aware that his boss is dead. So although they've had an issue earlier on into that time, they've actually, according to what was in the release here that when the lady went in to call the music producer and Barry Jhay that this guy is behaving abnormally, he went in to actually look and say, what's up, what's happening, and all of that. But the guy actually went violent with him, hitting him with stuff like iron, the toilet slap, and all of that, and also threatened him with knives. So which means he was displaying signs of violence. And at that point, Barry Jhay left the hotel, the lodge here. So he wasn't around as at when the police officers were carrying out their research. Also, one other pointer to this is the CCTV footage that has been released. If you can recollect in the video that was making the round last week from the witness who was giving his account, he said that the lodge has CCTV coverage, so we should be expecting a footage. This CCTV footage was said to be watched by Kashy's elder brother, Barry Jay's legal team, and the Ghana police force. So these people were actually present and properly watched this footage, which was also released on Barry Jay's page. In this footage, you could see Barry Jay walking out of the hotel at exactly 12:41 a.m. He was walking out of the hotel. He crossed to the other side of the road and made, and just left. He went his own way as at that point in time. And the CCTV footage showed that Kashy fell off the 4th floor at exactly 12:53 a.m. So there is about 12 minutes difference between the time Barry Jay left the lodge to when this incident occurred. This is actually a pointer that he was not present as at when this took place. He wasn't present. We could see in the CCTV footage that he fell off. There was no coverage of maybe Barry Jay around on the balcony or pushed him, or noise of some other person. Also, the police also stated in their own reports that there was no presence of anybody as at that time it fell. So there was nobody they could really hold on to say, oh, you were there, or you were standing with him, or you were standing around him. The security also said they tried to actually help him when he was displaying, signs of violence and all of that, but they couldn't control him. Came downstairs to get help, but before they could get back, he had already fell off the floor. Lastly, it's actually the post-mortem report. The post-mortem report has actually shown that he died from a head injury due to the fall from the 4th floor, and also one other thing he stated was actually the jump from a height rather. Yeah, so which means that his death was caused by the injury on his head and also the fall from the distance. Can you imagine somebody falling from such a distance? There's definitely going to be a lot of things, 4th floor to the ground is a whole lot of distance, and a lot of things could have gone on in between him falling down. So he had an injury on his head, his hands, and pictures were actually taken. Those pictures are what we saw online, from the bleeding on his head, his hands which were twisted, and all of this was actually captured, and it was said to be due to the fall he had. So there was no reports medically or from the police force that was reflecting any form of engagement of Barry Jay in this whole situation. And his legal team has come out to say, you know what, you guys need to stop spreading such allegations. The police force has come out to their conclusions. There's been medical reports, and also his families are satisfied with the investigation that were carried out. So both parties are satisfied. At this point in time, all we need to do is to just send our prayers to the family and to Barry Jay himself, because of course he lost a friend and a brother, just as he has said. This is where I'll be wrapping up today, and I hope that we don't go about spreading all those things anymore. Make sure you drop your comments, likes. What do you think about this? What's your thought on the old Barry Jay and Kashy saga? The comment section is yours. Just drop it. And if you're new to this channel, click on the subscribe button and also on the notification bell. Bye.